Those who live by the sword will die by the sword. Loosely translated, this statement figuratively means one may expect dire consequences from any vice. This statement is used to convey a sense that poetic justice is inevitable. This is the story of the tragic end to Boris' life as a hardcore criminal. His friends called him King Fox, or just Boris. He was one of the 5 people who were killed in a horror crash in October 2013 after their car was involved in a head-on collision with a bus near Ndoga shopping center in Harare. The young man lived a fast life. He lived a lavish life. He was known for splashing cash around. His family believed, however, that he was just another young man with nothing to his name in spite of his notoriety. Boris Mushonga, for that was his full name, loved to show off, to brag as he bought the latest labels. His family said that the young man who died at a tender age of 23 had nothing to his name. His friends loved him because he liked the finer things in life. They were birds of the same feather. He was reckless with his life and spent money without limits. He is said to have enjoyed his money as he got it. A friend once claimed that he went outside the country to spend some money. Family dismissed the notion. Where did his money come from? His money came from robberies, and he is believed to have lived in fear, in violence, in dishonesty, and muggings were his trademark. The police were looking for him. Boris and his gang were on the police wanted list for several robberies of passengers that they had purported to offer transport to. He was an armed robber who played a cat and mouse game with the police. Another feature that came up when he passed on was that he was feared. Even his friends could only speak about him on condition of anonymity. Boris, or King Fox, was an enigma. The nickname King Fox was symbolic. He indeed was a cunning young man, described by many as a smart criminal. He grew up in Mbare suburb, one of the popular suburbs in the capital city, Harare. He lived with his grandmother, grandfather, and his single mother, Yvonne. He is said to have gone to George Stark Secondary School in the same suburb. He was named after Boris Becker, a German tennis champion, who was a role model to Boris' mother. It is said that he was an average student when he was at school. What could have gone wrong? How come Boris decided to choose this route? At 23, he already had a family and was a father of a 2-year-old daughter with a girl who was living in the same street in Mbare National. When he died, claims are that 2 pregnant women came to the family home and claimed to be his mistresses. There were other women too, the rumors went. It is said, all in all, 5 women were linked to him, but the family said they were just rumors. There is no fire without smoke. This would be a very strange fire. His funeral wake was dramatic and full of incidents. When people gathered to bid farewell to Boris Mushonga in Rusike Street, mourners had to run for dear life as detectives fired warning shots as they tried to arrest his friends who were also on the wanted list of various crimes. They are also said to have wanted to stop friends from spinning around in their cars with Boris' coffin on one of the cars. Before this incident, his friends and colleagues had snatched his body, snatched his coffin to go for a spin and parade their fallen comrade. They put his coffin on top of a car and zigzagged in the potholed roads in a frenzy. Police arrested 9 suspected robbers at the funeral. These were Boris' friends. These were Boris' so-called workmates. These were on the police wanted list. In spite of the family denials that he was not a hardcore criminal, police had evidence to the contrary and linked him to several crimes, mainly robberies and muggings. His friends said that Boris Mushonga was a smart robber. A friend claimed that at one time, when the police tried to arrest him, he ran away from them while handcuffed, the men the police wanted for various crimes. There were also claims that he did not use guns and had never killed anyone in his activities. His life was shadowy. In spite of his fame and the cash that he splashed around, he had no major assets. On the day that Boris Mushonga died, his friends claim that he had over 20,000 US dollars on him and had left part of it at the family home. The family denied it. Could this be typical? Was this not ill-gotten money? Who would admit to having such an amount of money when the police were looking for Boris? He was described by his sister as a character who was difficult to understand, brave and sometimes very dangerous. He lived on the edge and was always running away from the police. With his death, the family felt that he had rested. It had been a turbulent life, one that was characterized by ups and downs. His life was the life of a man who lived for the moment. Nothing else mattered for Boris and his friends.